to Super Pat World. It is time to get down with a little Mario Maker 2 on Black Friday. Hopefully any shopping that you are intending on doing is done. Because it's going to get... Well, you know, I actually can't say that. I can't say that with much confidence because I haven't been out Black Friday shopping in enough years that it's probably not quite like it used to be with all the online shopping and Cyber Monday, all that. So maybe it's not that crazy. But I heard this afternoon the traffic was out of control. So I guess part of me's assuming that's going to continue into the night. What's up, Neil? How you feel? What's going on, Kyle, today? What's up, Mary? How are ya? How are ya? What's up, Roderick? There's Cam. There you do. Thanks, Neil. Good luck. Have fun. GLHF. What's up, Chris? We got 2 levels left here. 2 of these Nurkte levels left in the Nurkte circuit. What's up, Andrew? Happy Friday. We made it. The weekend is upon us. The weekend is here. There we go. Down to 2, at least on this account. We still got more available, it appears. So we're going to check that out after. Although, this could, based on the fact that this level has 5 clears, I wouldn't be surprised if this took all stream like the last one. But every now and then I fly through them, so we'll see. Time will tell. Make sure you double tap the screen, hit that like button. Do one of those. Or none of those. That's your right as well. Good evening, Dave. What's up, Michael? I think Sauce Powder mentioned this is Nurkte's alt account. Yeah, exactly. The intentional misspelling of Nurkte. All right. Let's start it up. What's up, Lisa? Nice to see you. What's up, Conks? Hey, Ewan. How are ya? How are ya? What do we have here? Oh, boy. It's going to be claw execution. We've got to judge having the right momentum as well as the right timing coming out of those claws. And the right amount of jump power. How long I press and hold the A button. Oh my gosh. You would be surprised how big of a difference it makes. Like an extra 10 milliseconds holding the button can get a significantly different result. We've got to be faster. What's up, Anastasia? What's up, Patrick and William? Another very cool one. Wow. So that's going to be like one fluid motion. There's a troll block in this one. Come on, Nurkte. Well, I very much appreciate the warning. On the 9th one, there's 1, 2. That was a smart way to convey that information. What's up, yeah? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll pick it up from 4. Oops, counting-wise. How are you out there, people? Anybody get any good Black Friday deals? Oop. What's up, Clubsy? How are you? How are you? Oh. Do I stream more on YouTube? I stream everywhere the same. I multi-stream. So I don't... If I'm streaming one place, I'm streaming everywhere that I stream. Oh, that was closer. That was closer. You gotta try this level, people. This thing's a wild one. Okay. Buried in laundry. There you go. Sorting that laundry. What's up, Jeff? Happy Black Friday, Jonathan. Big shout out to the gaming band director. Directing the band. Oh, yeah. Did I shop today? I didn't. Not in the real world. That sounded funny. I was looking at a couple online Black Friday orders. Trying to... Because it is a great opportunity to knock out a couple Christmas presents. But the only way I go out into the world on like a crazy shopping day is with a partner. That's not a solo activity for me. I need to feed off of their energy a little bit. Oh, I did it. Happy Friday, Logan. So let me know, chat. Have you seen any good Black Friday deals? I know I've been wanting to experiment with the AI music generator Suno. Oh. And I know that's 40% off. But I'm less interested in having it create songs for me from scratch, and more interested in this functionality I've seen where you start with your idea with just like a melody, and you let it kind of build the song around your idea, and then it gives you what's called stems. In the world of recording music, a stem is one part of the music. So the guitar has its own stem. The bass has its own stem. And so that allows you to put effects. Hey, come on now. There it is. There's number 9. It allows you to treat the volume, everything about it. You could mute it altogether. So think of it like it breaks the music into small parts. Or think of it like a drum set. A drum set can be brutal to deal with because you've got so many tracks, or in this case stems, representing one instrument. But you gotta imagine, like normally when you're micing up a drum set, like the snare drum's gonna get its own mic. There's one. The kick drum, you might get 2 mics on a kick drum. One at the where the air's coming out, and then another where the beater hits the drum head. Then you get that snap sound in there, which is a lot easier to hear than the tum of the air. But that's the part you really want to feel. You were at a customer's house earlier. They had some gray tiger kittens that were so friendly. Attempt to take one home, but he can't take another animal. Okay, you already got a bunch of animals, Andrew? If you don't want to come tonight, there we go. Yeah, we just found it. Thank you, Dave. Not specifically a Black Friday deal, but I did get my order in for the Lego USS Enterprise before they went on back order. Looking forward to this for a very long time. Okay, nice. So you're big into Star Trek. You're a Trekkie. You have a dog, a cat, and some reptiles. Okay, nice. What's up, Nick? This is you're absolutely... Your eyes do not deceive you. You're absolutely right. This is a Mario game. It's called Mario Maker 2 for the Nintendo Switch. And it's the best game ever made. You know, there's a Black Mirror episode I bet you'd really like if you're into Black Mirror. And it even got a sequel episode in the latest. Oh, okay, Nick, you already know about Mario Maker 2. There you go. You already know. I don't know who you're tagging, though. You're the only one talking in my chat. But you're responding like the people talking. Hey, whatever. Maybe they're just not coming through on my end. I wonder if I'm supposed to land. Kiwi's there. You play Mario Maker, but not Mario Maker 2. Oh, okay. What are you playing on? Are we talking... Oh, buddy. Are we talking, the handheld? Looks like Casper is the first clear. Yes, Casper is unbelievable. Big shout out to Casper. Oh, and you're saying that because you can see it on the other side. There we go. That was good. Man. What I'm trying to decide between, I can take two approaches here. I can either try to get max momentum and jump as early as possible to avoid that block and then just glide right over the blue pipe, or I can try to slow down and get very controlled here, land on the blue pipe, and then do a tiny jump or run off. I'm not sure. I think jumping, a small jump is probably my best bet. Because I think the momentum method is going to very quickly have that same fate of just hitting that block. It's perfectly positioned if you're going max speed. I do need a little oomph there. What's up, JR? Man, they are unforgiving jumps here. The timing of when you jump out of the claw is the invisible difficulty here. Because depending on the timing, changes so much about what Mario's position is and how much wiggle room you have to make the jump. Oh, buddy! How in the world? Oh, I've gotta bring the momentum from the first claw into the second claw. Well, progress. The small jump method worked, so that's a win. Oh gosh, that corner got me. We're getting close to the end here, Jonathan, but it's always the end that gets me. That ending is likely a doozy. Ouch. Miss Ma has never played this Mario before. Well, Miss Ma, do you have a Switch? Because if so, I highly recommend it. I highly, highly recommend it. I don't recommend that muncher, though. Andrew thinks I got this. I think we're definitely going to get this clear this stream. At least, now that I've seen the level, I'm confident of that much. We got to finagle the bagel, though, with this last claw momentum. That was, believe it or not, a better attempt than my previous one where I made it there, even though it looked much worse. But did you notice how I went claw to claw? Brap, brap. That has to be the rhythm. Because I have to, like... I have to keep max momentum, and I want Mario's position to stay in like a line almost. It'd be easier if I could draw it out. I'd have an easier time conveying this. Have you ever passed all the levels for the Super Mario World from the Nintendo console? Yes! Yeah, like getting 100% on Super Mario World. That was my favorite Christmas experience. Was I wanted a Super Nintendo so bad, but I knew it was a long shot. Money was tight. I knew it was a long shot. But I asked for it knowing it was not a sure thing. And Christmas morning comes. I always saved my largest size-wise gifts to the end. It would usually work in order of size. So I was opening the smaller gifts first, and guess what? Like the second gift I opened was Mario Paint. And I was like, oh my gosh. My heart sank as soon as I saw it, and I went, Mom, you got me a game for Super Nintendo. This isn't the one I have. I have NES. I have Nintendo Entertainment System, and I can't play this game on the NES. And my mom, like a Oscar-winning actress, goes, oh my gosh, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to get you the wrong thing. We'll take care of it and get you a game for the one you have. And then I see her go over and whisper something to my dad, and I'm thinking it's something like, oh, I can't believe we messed up. And I literally opened every other thing, and guess what the big the big gift was? It was a Super Nintendo. And I almost passed out. I almost passed out when I saw that Super Nintendo. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me! Got me. They got me on that one in a good way. No good. There it is, JR. Oh, that was better. That was better. Do you remember how long it took you to pass it? No. No idea. I definitely would have taken my time. And it would have been my first... I mean, I want to say that I had the NES... No, it's not... I might have my timeline a little blurry, because part of me thinks I got the Game Boy. The NES actually came out before the Game Boy, if I'm not mistaken. And the NES was my gateway into Nintendo, but I didn't own... Hey, we got it. Hey, we got it! No! All right. The laundry's sorted. There you go. The laundry is sorted. I definitely am very adamant about as soon as the laundry comes out of the washer, it's going in the dryer. And as soon as it comes out of the dryer, I got to get it up and out of the... Hey! Hey! No! Okay, twice in a row. As soon as that timer dings for the dryer, I've learned the hard way that if I'm not down there within 5 minutes of that ding, I'm never going down there. No, not never. But it'll be too late by the time I go down there. And then the clothes are wrinkled. And then it's like, oh my gosh. Now I've just created a whole new issue. Now you can just put it... Typically, my solution in that situation has just been to put it in the dryer for 20 more minutes. And that works most of the time, depending on how long the clothes were sitting there in the first place. But as an adult, I definitely made that conscious choice of if I'm going to do laundry, I am not going to let it sit in the dryer. Yes, there it is. There it is. Try to do that too if the dryer runs hot, and sometimes they have to be hung out to finish. Okay. Yeah, so there it is. The NES was 84, 85, Game Boy 89. And there you go. Yuri's backing me up as well. There it is. Michael, Dave, Clumsy, Mary, JR. What's up, Super Trucker J? When you got your Super Nintendo, your dad says, do you want to play that new Mario game? I bet you can't beat it, and I want you to prove it. I wanted you to prove it. You can. Merry Christmas. That's how I got mine. Nice, Super Trucker J. There we go. That was awesome. And now we've got the grand finale. We've got the grand finale. Thanks, Andrew and Jonathan and Anastasia. Grand finale is right here. Kazooie. So yeah, I think the timeline for me was I loved the NES, but I could only play it at my cousin's house. And then the first thing that I owned, Nintendo-wise, was the Game Boy, which would have come out when I was like 4. And I think the SNES was my first. I think I got the NES at. No, that can't be right. I don't think I'm going to remember. But I have to believe I ended up getting the NES after the Game Boy and before the Super Nintendo. Okay. You had to play with him watching to prove you beat my world. That's always a good thing, Super Trucker J. I have some fond memories of my dad watching me play. And there's a... Oh, no! Hidden block at the end of the goal on this one. Nurkte loves sprinkling in those troll blocks. Kazooie. It's your boy, Kazooie. Oh, my gosh. Watch it. Hello? Hello, McFly. Is anybody home? Hey, it's past Thanksgiving. Which means you can now watch Christmas movies. Oh, gosh. This isn't what I want. I need to only go halfway up. If I only go halfway up, I won't be stuck up there. So I think I'm just supposed to grab it. And then I go in it. There we go. Oh my gosh. All right, this is pretty cool. We're getting the right reads. Great memories. Your mom and dad watching you play Mario and Link to the Past. That's the best. Watching Christmas movies since November 1st. Fair enough. What's up, Double Star Mom 35? Thank you for the heart. There it is, clumsy. There we go. Ouch. Back to the Future is your favorite non-Star Trek movie series. Your very first console was Game Boy, then you saved and got the SNES and the PlayStation with your allowance. There you go, Yuri. Nicely done. That's why the games are so meaningful. Very nostalgic, Super Trucker J. Whoops. I love that. I definitely feel like that's part of the appeal of Mario to me because it's been my favorite since I was a kid. And similarly have those memories of like playing Mario and my dad watching. Or those like that Christmas memory I just shared. All of it's tied to Mario. So I think that's part of why Mario Maker 2 represents like my dream Mario game where there's levels in this game I'll never beat. And there's enough levels in this game that even if I played for 100 lifetimes, I still wouldn't get to every level. So it literally represents an endless game in that way. I can never get good enough that I'll be able to beat every level in the game. And I can never play for long enough that I'll get to every level in the game. So that's pretty compelling for me. Man, that's tough. It's making you think of that with the story, Super Trucker J. Yeah, I totally get that. I definitely get it. Nice. Oh, all right. Progress. This is a really cool level, Andrew. Since your PlayStation, you became a PlayStation, and that's fair. I'm not someone who would ever debate and say, "Oh, you're crazy to be PlayStation and not Nintendo or PC all the way." Ooh. We'll get this. What's up, Josh? too early. What's up, Toasty? Thank you for the follow. Yeah! No. One of the kids did one of my biggest pet peeves today. Told me I look tired. How dare you? That's so funny. That hasn't come up on stream in a while. When my face said that was a mistake, he tried to fix it. It's just the bags under your eyes. Oh, my gosh. Well, this has come up a few times, but I definitely have a pet peeve of if you're, let's say you're at work, right, or at school, wherever you may be, and you know, where people are, and there's someone there that you may care about, or maybe you don't care about, but one way or the other, you're having a conversation with them, and you notice, wow, this person looks very tired. Or you notice, wow, this person looks like they might be pregnant. I put it in that same category. Not as far saying it's in the same category. I don't think offense-wise it's in the same category. I think it's more offensive to be called, to be mistaken for being pregnant than it is to be mistaken for being tired. Well, especially since, okay, we're going in too many directions. What I'm trying to say is, when you tell someone, hey, you're tired, you look tired, there is not a single thing that they can do about it in that moment. Nothing. There is nothing to do with that information other than then for the rest of the day feel like everyone that sees you is thinking that you look tired. So it's one thing if you, let's say you're at home and you're like, oh, hey, you look pretty tired. You might want to take a nap. And you actually could go take a nap. That is a whole different situation. But more often than not, people strangely feel comfortable. Hey, you sleeping all right? You look pretty tired. That's so incredibly not helpful. Oh, that is not helpful at all. No better now, Jonathan. It's one of those wreck and scratch roads because everyone else at the Thanksgiving table was stunned into silence. What a moment. I can picture it, Erica. You look tired. Thanks. What do you want me to do about it? Exactly. Well, that's just it. That's the trouble. It's not helpful. Similarly, if you notice someone who looks like they might be pregnant, this is nothing you ever guess at. This is never a moment to then just throw it out there. Hey, how far along are you? Hey. No, unless you already know explicitly that this person is pregnant, you never assume they're pregnant. And if you notice someone who looks real tired and they're not in nap vicinity, then maybe just have a normal conversation with them. Maybe not draw attention. Because you know what? Maybe there is some good reason why they're looking tired, and maybe they are really tired. Maybe they were up in the ER with a loved one the night before, and now they're reminded that, oh, the world around me can tell. I feel like when you're in that situation, like you're going through something in your personal life one way or the other, you want to be able to go to work and not necessarily have it, like, wear it on your sleeve, you know? Oop. What am I doing here? What in the world am I doing here? We made progress. Can I hold one and be in one? How can I use both of those? Maybe just jump off of it? I bet it's just jump off of it. Yeah, that's what I think it is too, Clumsy. You said it right when I was thinking it. Because that would give me the extra height I need. Because we were only like a block of space away from making that. So to be clear, I was saying they're the same category of offense, calling someone tired versus calling them pregnant. But they're not the same depth of offense. degree. They're not the same degree of offense, but they're the same category. Because this, if I was to define the category, oftentimes it's well-meaning people. Like, it's very rarely someone intentionally trying to... Okay, get in it. No, there's no way. There's no way. There's not enough clearance. There's not enough clearance under the spike to do it. Part of me thinks I'm supposed to have it in my hand. But I can't throw shells up. Oh, so that's it. I have to run with it, get to the right, put it on, and then quickly jump off of it. There we go. There's one extra step. Get it, jump back off to the left, and jump back under it. I think as long as I'm just holding it, I can then just put it on right before needing to jump. Noah's duck was really good. He made a duck, sweet potato pie, roasted potatoes. And you made the other sides. Great teamwork. Big shout out to Noah. What if other people genuinely point out that you were tired because they are worried? And this is, Yuri, you're bringing me right back into the topic, which is, more often than not, these are well-meaning people. Someone has the exact intention that Yuri's talking about, says, oh my goodness, someone I care about looks really tired. I want to bring it up and check on them. So that the heart behind that is good, but the execution is not great. Because what you have to consider is, what can they do with that information? What is it that, what can transpire in this moment, in this conversation, that then leads to them being able to do anything about it? So alternatively, if your entire, like this, if I just hold it. Oh my gosh. If that is it, this is going to be crazy. I'm second guessing it. I'm second guessing if that's what it is. But yeah, the execution is off. If you really want to check on them, do it at the end of the day when they're home, and call them and say, hey, and you don't have to tell them that it was that they look tired. You can just be, hey, you didn't seem totally yourself earlier, or you seemed like you might have been down. I just want to check in with you. That's proper execution, Yuri, of that intent. Notice someone looks tired or looks off, and you're out in a public place, especially while the sun's still shining. The intention to check on them, good. The timing is crucial. Jumping in right there does no good. If anything, it's going to make them feel worse. Whereas if you check on them later in the day, in private, especially on the phone, there's the proper execution of a positive intent. Dave, back in 2008, you worked for T-Mobile. It was one of the guys in the middle of the mall that asked what kind of phone you have. A couple stopped by, didn't know they were a couple, and they were deciding on phones. And I said, what kind of phone does your mom like? Oh, it was because she was much, much older, and it just came out, needless to say, I lost the sale, never assume. Another great example. No need to make any assumptions in that department either. What's going on, Dave? Can you slide under the spike while in the dry bones shell? Not without bouncing. Well, no, I guess you can do a slide if you jump and land. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. There is that move where if you're in a dry bones shell and you come down at an angle with enough momentum, you do slide initially. So that could be it. You have enough time to make that jump. Let's try that. I think that's a good idea. Yuri knows what I'm saying. Good evening, George. Got to jump from underneath the last platform to have enough time to get up that long channel. Oh, Justin, I get what you're saying. You're saying intentionally go basically under the screen and then jump up? How? So you're imagining me jumping out to the left as I'm trying to picture it. But I like the concept, but it's the spike that's more in the way than the platform, right? Let's first try the slide. What made the tired comment worse is that he led into it by asking if you wear makeup. I said yes and thought it was about to be a compliment. So you got set up thinking she was about to say something nice. That does make it worse. That makes it worse. That's what Jonathan was trying to say with the under the platform. What's up, Godfrey? Got that check mark of authenticity? Really? On Facebook? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do have it on Facebook. What's up, Jess? Thanks for the heart and the share. Okay, sorry. There's a this is what happens, especially playing levels like this. There's a like 25% of my brain that's dedicated to just thinking about that move where I'm stuck. So I'm stuck with less of my brain to work with for everything else. To play the game, to talk, and to have any kind of idea what's going on. Which even with 100% can get a little dicey. Oh, come on. Did notice the verify bit? Well, let's be very clear. The only reason I got it was... Excuse me. It's not anything I earned. I bought it when it was offered to... Once it was finally offered, for a long time, for whatever weird reason, it wouldn't even let me... It's the same reason I can't do it on Instagram. Is because it needs to match your government name to get verified without having some kind of... some kind of indirect route to the same service. Like, so for instance, with the Super Pat World on Facebook verification, that came up in my directly in my notifications while I was signed into Super Pat World. Whereas, okay. We're gonna try the slide. Oh, well, I feel like that was close. What's up, Doug? I feel like that was close enough. Even though I failed the slide, I think that's still a viable way to work it. I think that can work. The real page, report all fakes. What's up, Atomic Pancakes? That's quite a name, Atomic Pancakes. I do love pancakes. Oh, gosh. You have to pay monthly. Yeah, exactly, for the verified. And your profile picture has to match your license, and every time you change... Yeah, there you go. Dave's given the rundown. That's what got in the way of doing it for the other Super Pat World pages. If you ground pounded the dry bone shell, does that make the platform fall faster? No, no effect. Hey, thanks for the share, Olivandre. Olivandre. I got to figure it out, because the E... Oh, we already talked about this. The E has the accent. You taught me once. Oh, come on. Hey, thanks for the follow, Wade. Shout out to Wade. Used to be a Wade Boggs fan. When I was a kid, I was really into sports. Okay. And that first time went way better. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving too, Dave. I had a great one. You told the other day it is okay, yeah. You brought Wade. He's your brother. Okay, shout out to Wade and Olivandre. That's what I'll go with. And happy Thanksgiving, Daniel. Okay, well, Kiwi believes I am having trouble believing at this point. Because I'm just confused now. I wish I could see it. That's when I'm a lot more confident when it comes to Mario Maker 2 moves. Is if I can at least see it in my mind's eye. But when it's like this, when I have to kind of depend on looking at it and reacting in the moment, it's really hard for me to put it together that way. But if I at least can imagine in my mind what I'm trying to accomplish, things like figuring out the timing and the positioning feel a lot more doable because you have something to work with. Whereas, as of now, I know what I'm trying to accomplish. Just not sure how to accomplish it. Do you get any height bouncing off the second shell? That's what I'm trying to do, is bounce off the second shell. No clear video. The goal right now is to find a way to jump off of the second dry bones shell while still in the first dry bones shell in order to get enough height to make it up to the next platform. And there's one theory. I know that when you land with full momentum in a dry bones shell, you slide a bit. So we're trying to intentionally do that slide. But then there's also an idea of coming up from under the platform. And that's where my brain's working hard to generate a visual of what that would look like in that space. Because you're... See, my brain's just shutting down. System overload. Doesn't take much. Ugh. Doesn't take much, people. It is an overwhelming place to be in that brain. What's going on, Brandon? There are quite a few spikes in exactly the right spot. Let me just say this level is absolutely incredible. Because in spite of it being really challenging, that's part of what makes it fun to even have to keep retrying it. That's what can get really boring about doing longer speed runs. Ugh. Is it can very quickly... Like, you get the first 15 seconds down, and then you never miss anything in the first 15 seconds again. And then you can never make progress without having to do those 15 seconds. And so that's why if the full level... Here, well, let me focus on this instead. Here we are. I have it right in front of me. This is the part. The challenge is... Because this is so low, and when I move left to right, I'm bouncing. So I only have like 2 blocks of space, and this thing is constantly descending. I have to get to the right without breaking the shell. If I'm in this shell or holding the shell and then just run to the right, I'm going to break the shell. If I'm in this shell and run to the right, and even tap this shell, I'm going to kick it and break it. And if you notice, there's only 1 block of space between the pole and the dry bones shell. So we've got to find a way for Mario to be in this. Now, if I was to... Okay, here's why I don't think I'm going under. The only way I could go... Oh, no, that is it. It is under. Then we don't... The part that I was getting stuck on is that we needed to have dry bones shell to dry bones shell interaction, and you don't. This one's whole purpose can be to provide 1 extra jump under the platform. And then as long as I can get up and into this shell immediately, I'll have more than enough height making a jump in it and then jumping out of it. So I think that's the move. It's just going to be tough to do in this attempt because we're already descending. So we got to move fast here. We got to move fast. Yeah. No. Wait a minute. Well, that was unexpected. Now we did it without it. Is it possible it's just an obstacle? Maybe it's an obstacle. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Because, like I said 3 minutes ago, it creates a hazard in 2 ways. It's going to break if I'm in the shell, but maybe I just don't need it. Because if I don't need it, then kicking it isn't a bad... I don't know. Maybe you're not supposed to be able to make that jump? Now what? Now another jump midair into it? Okay, I don't know what to do. Is that the new thing I should try to do? I gotta get caught up here. Hey, what's up, Brian? I have a question. How were the donuts that you got the vacuum sealed from a viewer? They were very stale. It was a very cool idea, but very stale. And I read about it after, in that that's part of what isn't accomplished. You would think that the vacuum seal would keep it fresh, but it actually doesn't. Should have said this before. Immediately jump into the first dry bone shell, then jump left up and under the platform and into the second dry bones. Yeah, I think that probably is the intended way, Justin. I should at least try that. I just have to do it right from the beginning. I hear you, Clumsy. Found out today your baseline will be used in an indie film that hasn't been released. That's awesome, Dave. Congratulations. I think Justin wants you to be in the shell. Jump out to the left. Yeah, see, we're all talking about the same thing. Get away from the spike, Michael said. What's going on, Pumpkin King 93? What's up, Mickey Rudy? Was it Cheese? You entered Chess Baby Precision Competition. Nice. Yeah, I've played all, basically, well, I can't say for sure all of them, but I played a lot of the levels from the first two contests. The very first time they did it, it felt like some of the levels were really hard. Did not feel like Baby Precision at all. But the way that he describes it is it should be something that's difficult for a new Precision player, whereas an experienced Precision player should be able to speedrun it. Type thing. I thought that was a good way to sum up the difficulty he's looking for. Big shout out, chess_WC. Do you want to give it a go? No. No, I'm not taking any level codes today, Mickey Rudy. Having a rough day. Got a headache, and my stomach is upset. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Pumpkin King. There may be a time that I'll do a dedicated stream to the Baby Precision levels. But for now, I'm on Nurkte. That was kind of the idea. Blame the food. That could do it, Pumpkin King. I'll do my best, Mickey Rudy. I'll do my best to play it. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I have no reason to not want to. I would say my ideal would be to do a stream, or maybe a series of streams, and play through at least a good number of them. What did Yoda say? Do or do not? Well, I would say that you're making it seem like a Jedi leaves no room for gray, and that it's all binary. And I would say that's a misrepresentation of the Jedi way. I think the context of Yoda saying that is important. Ooh. Come on, bruh. Come on. You got your disability 2.8 increase. There you go, Super Trucker J. Glad that you'll be a little better off there. Maybe just faster. If I do all of that faster, it'll work. What's up, Jesse? Oh my gosh. You're at Walmart. I thought you said Dad's been in heaven for a year now. Looking down after us. There you go, Jesse. That is a that can be a happy moment and it can be a tough moment. This can be both. I think that's definitely a common thing to experience. Losing somebody like that. I think you hear their voice, or you think you see them in the store. Definitely can relate. But the more you can experience as a positive, the better. But depending, that it's not always available. But I like the way you're saying it. Oh! I like the way you're saying it. Oh. You know, I bet I really want to go around the wall and land right in it. That would make this a lot better. That might be the final missing piece. Oh, buddy. Got a big test down in Indianapolis. You're doing a little traveling. You asked if I could give him a hug, and he said yes. Oh, my goodness, bro. Wow. That was bold. That was a bold move. Well, what a sweet guy. Shout out to him. That was very kind of him. No, see? So I'm jumping from so much higher that I'm gaining momentum falling. I'm gaining falling momentum faster than I'm anticipating. Now that I'm jumping off right away. Okay, so here's what I have to keep in mind. If I'm going that early, then I can afford the time to not land right in it. Because the alternative would be waiting on it just to be able to land in it, which I don't think is worth it. Especially if I can land in this one. If I can land in this one, and that spike, I think, is partially there to keep you from just holding right. Because, you know, rather than jumping, getting in it, and then jumping and jumping out of it, I could also jump, get in it, and jump out of it. That would be faster, too. Can you do a shell jump? No, the shell breaks when it hits the wall. I suggest it looks much harder in practice. Looks like my way is better. Well, it's all of our way at this point. Everything I'm doing now is the result. It's the amalgamation of all of the suggestions that have come through. It always makes me feel like it's back in the day playing with my friends. And oftentimes, if it was a one-player situation, everybody else is trying to give ideas just like the stream. So often the stream has felt like that to me. And even if there's nothing to necessarily figure out, just being able to like have casual conversations while you're playing also brings that right back. Video games definitely was a big part of friendship bonding back in my day. Back in my day. Now, not to say it's not still the case. I'm sure it is. It was just true in a different way in my day. Because now, you got to imagine most people who are playing video games together are playing together online. Whereas that was not even an option back in my day. Wow. Wow, that is tough. That is crazy. It's 3 hours downstate. Good gracious. There we go. Appreciate you, Justin. Found over the years, definitely a community effort, no doubt. No doubt about it. 90s kids, difficult, no doubt. Jesse, what's up, Ty? It's a community effort. Hey, that worked. Oh my gosh. That's big progress. That is a crazy jump, George, but I think we got it. I think if I can replicate that, we're good. Even if that isn't exactly what's intended, I think it might be. Oh my goodness, that's annoying. That's not right now. Getting a snowstorm. No, the snow. The bane of my existence. Someday, chat, I'm going to live somewhere where it never snows. And snow will be a thing of the past. It'll be some nostalgic thing that I'll experience once every 10 years when I'd come visit for Christmas. Oh, that is a sad thing to think about, though. If I actually did move away. Because part of the point would be literally not being... Well, but I guess it is different living through the full season versus just visiting for Christmas. So, yeah, I think that's the right balance. Live somewhere else, do like a Christmas weekend to see the whole family, and then back to the new chapter. I like that idea. Come on. For that difficult jump, you could just walk off the left side of the platform instead of jumping. Yeah, it's just easier to control and know exactly where I'm going to be with that little jump. But you're right, that would save a little more time. 12 inches of snow is meh? I'm not sure what that means. Is it here more expensive? Yeah, that's the problem. What's up, Fernando? You're going to get hit with snow? That's why that's why we left my mom's a day early. There you go. Good call. Dave's experiencing 6 to 9 inches of snow this weekend. There we go. The snow is upon us. Wow. Come on now. You always want good 6 inches of snow per year, and that's it? And you get your fix? Well, that's reasonable. It's enough to make a snowman with the kids. Do a little sledding. And then when it melts, you can be done with it. That would be... is there anywhere that just gets 6 inches of snow a year? All at once? And then never again? The rest of the season? I'm making that harder than it needs to be. I keep insisting on landing in it. But now that I've been playing this level this long and still I'm not consistently getting it, I need to just do it the easier way, which is this. Oh my goodness, it's so annoying. What's happening there is I'm tapping left to slow down, but I have to stop tapping left before committing to actually letting go of the shell to drop it. Well, we're getting back there. We're starting to refine that strat. Come on. You're in Kentucky, so you get 1 to 3 inches, and that's it. You don't go out all that much. Tomorrow you're going to haircut and shave, taking your son for a haircut. Nice. You do in Oregon and Washington for a couple days each year, and that's it. Okay, maybe that's the sweet spot. Oregon or Washington. Do you say Oregon or Oregon? Because part of where my brain gets crossed up, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Oregon. Like how people actually say it. But I grew up saying the Oregon Trail. And so I think sometimes my brain just defaults to Oregon for that reason. Just like how I'd say Caribbean after hearing Pirates of the Caribbean so many times. But don't people actually say Caribbean? Good gracious, bro. Oh! The bounce did me wrong. Might get 6 inches of snow tomorrow, Susie. Going back clean shaven and bald head. Beard is 5 months old. There you go. I think you're ready. You're ready to switch it up, Super Trucker J. Little new chapter for you. Get a little refresh. Nice. Oh my goodness! Definitely the latter of Caribbean. Oregon. So there it is. Yeah, so I have them both right, but I say them both wrong. It's Oregon and Caribbean. But oftentimes I'll catch myself defaulting to Oregon and Caribbean. You have the Tillamook Cheese Ice Cream Factory in Oregon. Notice you and I say that differently as well. Oh, Tillamook? Tillamook? Is that the alternative? Tillamook? I'm trying to relate it to Oregon and Oregon. And I feel like if I'm saying Tillamook, then you're probably saying Tillamook. Oops. Spell it phonetically for me, Jess. Let me see how you say it. I literally just bought Tillamook ice. Well, Tillamook. I just got the vanilla ice cream. I haven't had it in a while. Because the truth is, if I'm getting the Tillamook, I'm getting those chocolate chip break and bake cookies too. Because that is a 10 out of 10 combo. Not much tastes better than that, in my opinion. What's up, Rosito? From the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. Oh, I'm just barely under jumping it now. Tillamook. Tillamook. Hold on. Hold everything, chat. Here it is. Tillamook. Tillamook. Wouldn't you say Tillamook? But now I'm hearing Tillamook. How did two O's turn into a U? Tillamook. You know, I love this line. This is my favorite line on the packaging. They've got a little asterisk right under the ingredients, and it says, Tillamook ice cream is made with more cream than is legally required. I love that. I think that's a nice claim to fame. We use more cream than we're even supposed to. Hold on. I didn't know if I was having a, what's that called? A Mandela effect situation where when she said Tillamook, I was like, is it not OO? But but this is the reality. This is the reality. She's the local in this case. So ultimately, she's right. Ultimately, she is correct. I just can't imagine why she's correct, but I do believe she's correct. Yeah, my it's been broken, Jonathan. That's nothing new. You say Tillamook as in moo as in cow. Okay, so me and George say it the same way. And it is one of the best, if not the best, ice cream brand. Try it. If you've never tried it, Tillamook is the correct pronunciation. It's the name of an indigenous tribe native to the coast of Oregon. There it is. See? Exactly like I said. I didn't understand how it's true, but I believed she was correct, and there's the evidence. There we go. What's up, Mac? It's been years since you've been there. I have to go back and see how they say it. Well, there it is. I think it sounds like we now have the origin story. Reminds you of Stouffer's lasagna box, where it says 2 times the meat than required by the lasagna with meat sauce standard. There we go. It's double qualified, Jonathan. And what's up, J25? I'm not taking level codes today. I'm actually playing levels by Nurkte, who is absolutely amazing. Highly recommend you take a screenshot and try a few yourself. Tillamook ice cream. They have like 3 different vanillas. Of the 3, I would order them this way. The best one, old-fashioned vanilla. That's the best one. Second best is vanilla bean. And then third best under that is French vanilla. All great, but I find it to be the best base if you're going to make ice cream sundaes. And the number 1 ice cream topping, in my opinion, is freshly baked cookies. And why I opt for the break and bake cookies is it has that beautiful little line on it that says, safe to eat raw. You can eat that cookie dough just as it is. So the trick is you just you intentionally undercook the chocolate chip cookies, since you could eat them raw anyway. And then you add a layer of whipped cream to the top of the ice cream, and you put the cookies on top of that. No! And it does this awesome thing with the texture. You got to do it quickly, though. It does a very cool thing with the texture. Having the half-baked cookies on the whipped cream, which is cold but not freezing. So that's part of why you want that layer of whipped cream versus just putting it right on the ice cream. Wait a minute. Did you see what I just did? I was totally avoiding doing the whole like midair move. Am I making this harder than it needs to be? I am a professional at that. But like I wonder if in every case I can just jump. Here's what I might not be explaining it well. Oh, that one I've been doing that. No, this one, okay, that's the evidence that is definitely built around that idea. Because these you have to. Those you have to. Guess a cookie dough you buy doesn't have eggs. I don't know how they do it. Proper way to Tillamook is Tillamook with emphasis on the first syllable, and it rhymes with book. To pronounce it, say till firmly. Well, I wonder, ask it what the origin of the name is, George. See if it knows anything about that indigenous tribe. Because that's the source that Clumsy was going by. Which would explain the pronunciation being different than it looks like it should be phonetically. Because it's kind of like a word that's used in English that's actually a different language. Like, let's take the word mozzarella. The quote-unquote right way to say mozzarella is not a clear, it's not a clear singular answer that is absolutely correct. Because you could say mozzarella or mozzarella, but at that point, it's like, what is defining the correct way to say something? Or, you know what, a better example is in English, how you would say different countries of the world. Like, those pronunciations locally are oftentimes different than the way we might say it in English. And you can correctly argue that the correct way to say it in English is this particular way. But you could argue the more correct way to say it is the way that the people who are actually there say it. So in that sense, it's almost like there are 2 right answers. Because both have a valid claim to the place. No! Come on, bro. Comes from the Linuk language of that tribe. I think the issue with raw cookie dough is with the flour, not the eggs. But you just go for it anyway at midnight. Origin of Native American with Chinook roots. Also specifically that mook rhymes with book, look, but not muck. Okay, well we've got conflicting information. Thank you for the gifts, J25. I have no idea. I didn't know before I started the stream, and I continue to not know right now. Oh my gosh, how did I do that? And that's okay. But that one I could just get in. The next one. I think I am doing more of them than I need to do. The mid-air drop, this. Versus that. Like, no, even there. Even that one I could just put it on. That's what I did in the first place. This one we have to do. But this one I can just... Oh, well, I guess the bounce does make it harder to... The bounce does make it a little harder to maneuver. I guess at this point, after doing it this way for as long as I have, I'm probably better off just sticking with it. See, what's going wrong there is I'm trying to take one step before making the jump to generate momentum. But now I'm going to intentionally try just jumping right away with no momentum, and I might make up enough height by doing it way earlier that might work just like that. I might be fighting a losing battle, trying to compensate for more height that I'm losing as the blue platform is descending. Come on now. And thank you, George, for the 200 stars. You are the superstar leader. The star drops is for you. Come on. Come on. One battle you don't want to be fighting is a losing battle. That's true. That is true, but you've got to question your own ability. Yeah, see, that is way easier. But I guess it's still the bounce. What's up, Todd? The comments working? What that instantly makes me think of, Mickey Rudy, is you might think you're in a losing battle, but not necessarily be correct. Like you may be being misled by how you feel about it, and it might look worse than it really is. No, you do need the momentum. You gotta fight for every inch of progress at a Kaiser level. Sometimes. I think sometimes that's the case. But then other times you end up just blasting through. Especially if it plays to your strengths. Happy Thanksgiving, John. We haven't even hit... We know there's a troll block. Which really seems brutal now that we've made it this far. Gotta try that ice cream, yeah. They have a caramel swirl that's really good, too. Oh my goodness, yeah, that makes it so much easier. If I just get it, I think it's worth refining my approach. What's up, Frank? Thanks for the gifts. I think I'm going to... Normally, I would just go with what I've been doing that's been working. But in this case, I think... it's worth across the board. Trying to recognize that if the dry bones shell is waiting for me on the platform like this one, I don't have to drop into it. It's these I have to drop into. There's no other way to accomplish that. I heard of a brand, Talenti. Oh, yeah. They make gelato, I believe. They have a good caramel one as well. This I have to drop into, but this I don't. I can just do that. That's the move. What's up, Tan the Man? Thanks for the heart. You're just in time for where it's about to get juicy here. The clear is in range. Stay on target. Look at that. Look at that. Big progress. What's up, K. Borowski? Just don't realize that after 10 years of Mario Maker? Well, for me, it's been 5 years. But I would say the way in which level creators use the dry bones shells and set them up are pretty different. That I don't really think in terms of rules of thumb. Oh no! Wow. I managed to not even activate the platform. How did I even do that? That's pretty good. I don't think I could do that on purpose. See, I can just get in that. So close. Just a little sooner. Major progress, Jonathan. Major progress. No! Played Maker 1 for a month, okay. Yeah, I had it, and I played it a tiny bit, but I got discouraged with it very, very quickly. I was watching a lot of Dashi and a lot of Ryuka before actually playing the game myself. Nice. No, not nice! This is a cool level, Taylor, man. I agree. Take a screenshot. Give it a try. Mario Maker 1 looked a lot more fun to play than it actually felt to play. I was like, oh gosh, I thought I was actually going to be good at this. There we go. Come on. Ah! It keeps on going. What's up, Mazai? It keeps on going, chat. But that was huge progress. That was huge progress. Did I make it to the troll block yet, or is it after that? Because as I was getting to new stuff, I was looking out like, okay, where would it be? On the edge? No! I bonked. Here we go, George. Better off on the other side. We're getting there, Jonathan. The only thing is, I did think we were closer to the very end than we actually are. Trouble is at the wall jumping to the goal. At the next jump. Okay, so we just made it one jump away from the end. That's why we didn't see it. So it's on the final jump. No! Pat, you're not listening to yourself. The longer the level goes on, the more likely you are to die before getting to the end. That's definitely true. Thank you, Erica. And see, the way you could express that mathematically is just, it's literally more opportunities to lose. The longer the level, the more possibilities you've created to mess up. No! Twice in a row, Pat? We're just one jump away. No! The bounce got me. If you press the jump button while you're mid-bounce, you don't actually jump. That's the problem. Because you're not on the ground. That's what determines if you can jump. Good. No! Come on, bro. I really want to get back to that ending. So if we're going to hit that troll block, we can get it out of the way. No! Oh, I have to just start anticipating that I'm going to grab it instead of get into it. But I keep perceiving that I have enough height to land in that shell. That's why that keeps happening. But I keep being wrong. See, like that, I landed in it. I did the exact... Nice. We're making progress, sort of. We're getting there. Oh, I've got my house so clean now, chat. Finally have the house clean. And decorated for Christmas. No, the bounce got me. What's up, Matt? See, that time, that one bounce happened after the platform started descending, so it never had a chance to catch back up to the falling platform. So it guaranteed I had no more opportunities to jump. It seems like that happens whenever I duck. Every time I'm kicking that shell, I'm noticing the duck animation. No! Feeling festive. That was can get clean, like totally clean. That's the thing. Well, in my case, see, a big ADHD thing is just having piles of things. Now, you might be like, bro, that's not specific to ADHD. But it is, because it's definitely human nature to have, like, a pile of dirty clothes somewhere. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things like the mail. Like, instead of just having, like, a normal place to put the mail, I'll always end up wanting to make piles of it. And it's rooted in the fear of throwing away something important. So there's an irrational part to the whole equation that's built around the fear of throwing something away I'm going to need. But the ultimate irony is having all the mail you ever get in a big messy pile makes it more likely you are going to misplace or not be able to find the thing you need. So it's the ultimate ironic, idiotic feeling behavior. But anyway, so the point is, one example of what had built up for me was a huge pile of cardboard that I needed to cut up. I had, over the past like couple months, gotten a couple big boxes, and it just started to get more and more out of control. But I'm like not even seeing it at a certain point, because I live alone. There's no one to even kind of to notice in the way that you become blind to things. Like, you ever hear the term nose blind? Like, someone's often nose blind to their own BO. Might be painfully obvious to everyone around them, but they genuinely don't. They're nose blind to themselves. That's an example. But if your bedroom, right? However you have your bedroom right now, however organized or disorganized it is, you likely have the ability to get what you need from it as it is right now. And as such, your brain is like intentionally ignoring some of the information. Oh, wow, I did a reclaim. Clumsy knows what I'm talking about. No snow for me yet, Matt, thankfully. Thankfully, no snow for me. This is really turning into a challenging one. This is proving to be quite difficult. Nice, that was good. I think I'm supposed to go up in here. Because I'm jumping to the left off of that flying dry bones because of how high up it is. Whereas if I go up in here, I'll have a lot easier time making it to the right. They poke their heads and say, how are you able to find anything in here? It's a disaster. Yeah. So the reason this level was the grand finale. Yeah, I guess so, Jonathan. But it actually wasn't the grand finale upload. It just, I ended up playing the last ones out of order. But it is the grand finale for my purposes. Don't get in the shell till after you jump on the second dry bones. Where do you, here? Are we talking about this last jump, Jonathan? Don't get in the shell till after you jump on the second dry bones. Let me know, Jonathan, which jump we're talking about. Oh, go to the wall with the short jump. Thanks for the heart, Lisa. See, what's hard for me right now is I can't visualize the last jump. I haven't been there enough. So I'm trying to, like, envision what it would mean to stay out of the shell. But I'm having trouble doing so. No, that time I did. Jump on the dry bones. Collect the shell, jump on dry bones, get in the shell, and jump off. I appreciate it, Jonathan. And Mazai's telling me to go to the wall with the short jump. EMJY says this level's so easy. Really? How many people do you think have cleared it? What would be your guess? What would be your guess at the number? Because this is Mario Maker, so it actually does keep track of how many people have ever cleared a level. And I would say for an easy level, you'll have a couple thousand clears pretty steadily. What really needs to happen is I just need like 4 or 5 attempts in a short span of time that make it to the end. But as you're seeing, the rest is challenging enough that it is hard to consistently make it all the way to the end now that we're getting closer. Thanks, Jess, for the encouragement. Close. Close, but not close enough. Whew. Nice! I finally made the correct adjustment for once. No! And then I ruined it. Say 6 clears. I think you're close. Happy Thanksgiving, Nicole. What's up, Ken? Come on now. Okay, you're saying jump on the dry bones, collect the shell, jump on the dry bones and get in the shell. I think that would, if I just jump up into this gap, this is what I have to remember to focus on. This is what I have to focus on. It's this thing. Because that will essentially accomplish the same thing. I'm just going to have to really thread the needle there. I thought you said the gap through the middle? Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about here, Mickey Rudy. But this is part of what's tough for my brain, is I'm trying hard to hold a bunch of different ideas at the same time, trying to understand what people suggest. I think you're jumping too early off the blue platform. Yeah, see? Already I've lost the blue platform. Thanks for the gifts, Lisa. Hopefully we can just get back there a few times, because then it'll become very clear if we can do that. Whoa! Nice save! No, and then you ruined it. Psh. Nice. Whoa! We're getting real lucky with that jump. No, and then I'm ruining it right there. All right. We're getting there. Remember, Pat? We're going up into the middle with the 2-block space. Got to aim for a 2-block space. I keep getting that reclaim. I could not do that on purpose. It's tougher to do with the dry bones show. No, the button got me again. Mickey Rudy, I think you're just trying to be funny, but I really don't even touch anything that goes into people's heritage and all that, because it's a very slippery slope. You can, while your intentions might be very innocent, it can very quickly take a very unfortunate turn. So let's not even go there. Hope you understand. I'm not trying to pick on you. But that's the exact zone that has gotten things off track in the past. But I have to say, especially in the past, ever since I totally stopped growing as a streamer, the bright side has been very few conflicts. I can't reach that far. And so now it comes back to what Kiwi's saying. You're saying use that blue platform to buy some time to allow the dry bones to descend. And there, I understand it. Now, it makes sense to me. The context is squarely seated in my brain. Yeah, that's it. That was it, people. No! Okay, but that's it. We're nearly there. We are nearly there. We are nearly there. Progress 10, the man. Here we go, Mickey. Do that previously? I don't know what was going on, but I'm glad we got it now. That's all I care about. We've got it now. No. Well, the part that we're talking about, Clumsy, I hadn't even gotten there before. Why are the controlled jumps to avoid soft locks? Why? Why are the controlled like this? How else would you set that up? I was thinking of it as the only way you can accomplish that challenge of grabbing the dry bones shell, but maybe there is another way to do it. You would know better than me as a level creator. I didn't wait. What's up, Sally? I was saying that putting the dry bones shell in a place that if you go too far, you get soft locked. But if you stay halfway, that you're able to grab it, like right here. I don't know of any other way you accomplish creating that challenge. But I went on to say, you as a level creator may know other setups you could use that could accomplish that same challenge, but I can't think of any. No! Close. Oh, not there. Thinking about making a GoFundMe? A lot of people have. It's definitely a viable option if you're in some trouble. What's up, Miss Nuclear? Big shout out to Sean. You caught the very end of the stream. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. Same to you, Sean. Same to you. I'm trying to get my head around the hidden block as well. I've got that in the back of my mind. Because we have that intel. There's a troll block at the very end. That was closer. Just strangers and random people you don't know donate to it? Are they generous people? No. Well, I shouldn't say flat no. I would put it this way. If you're in any position that a GoFundMe could be helpful, I think you have nothing to lose by starting it. And you just want to be careful about how you went about promoting it. Oh, gosh. So, the question of is it worth trying, it all depends on your situation. If it's, like if someone needs a $20,000 surgery, then what it takes to set it up, I would imagine, is an hour or two of time max. And that's it. It's not going to cost anything to at least try. And especially if you're facing down a $20,000 surgery, then if I'm in that position, especially like with a loved one, I'm going to want to do whatever I can, especially if it's just like taking a chance on it. Taking a chance on it. It's a possible way of raising some amount of money. But to be honest, I've never created one myself, so I don't know too much about it other than there are a lot of scam ones. I know that. I know at a certain point there were more and more... Oh, I messed it up again. More and more scammers. So I know, especially... I think more and more people are a little more hesitant to donate to GoFundMes for the very purpose of, kind of ironically, exactly what we're saying. Anyone who wants to, whether they're actually in financial trouble or not, can go ahead and make a GoFundMe, and they can make up any story they want. There's no one verifying it. There's not like some kind of rule where you have to upload medical records of the person you're saying needs surgery or any of that. It's all kind of honor system in that way. I'm definitely suspicious of GoFundMes in general. In what I would say is a healthy suspicion. All the more reason why I've always, through Super Pat World, said that as a general rule, I would not promote a GoFundMe outside of someone that like if it was my dad. But outside of that, there's just too many scams out there. It's too easy for somebody to kind of justify to themselves, say, well, you know, I am in financial trouble. It might not actually be that this person needs surgery, but I really am in financial trouble, so it's not that morally wrong to make a fake story about being in financial trouble if it's more likely to get people to donate. But that's pretty flawed logic, in my opinion. Oh my gosh, bro. How in the world am I going to do that? Have an idea of what to do on Christmas? You're going to go to Dollar Tree, get some board games, give it to the nursing home. That's a good idea, Jesse. And Taylor can comment again. What's up, Taylor? We might have to bring this one back, chat. We're almost at a 2-hour stream here. You can't go to jail if you make everything up? Well, that's called fraud. And you'd have to Google about that. I don't know where the lines are drawn, but I do know that there are a lot of scams and fake GoFundMes. That I'm positive of. How it works out with how legal or illegal, or how it's proven in a court of law, or how... I don't know how the people who run the scams actually do it or get away with it, or if they do get away with it. So that I don't know. But I do know, generally speaking, we're talking about fraud. That's the part I have to wait. The good old days, George. But I would say, as far as anything I would advise, would be to definitely not do anything that's even possibly a scam or fraud. Because if there's one place you don't want to go, people, it's jail. That is one place you don't want to go. Certainly a place I do not want to go. Oh, twice. Twice. There we go. Thanks, Jonathan. I'm glad you were here. Usually if a GoFundMe is found to be fraudulent, GoFundMe takes it down and returns the money. Right. That's just it. I don't know I don't know how far the consequences extend or what's required to then cross the line into being illegal. And I wouldn't even want to try to guess because that's like a pretty serious thing. Had the problem today. Wouldn't let you for a long time. Sorry about that, Nicole. There we go, George. Well, but yeah, especially when I was a much bigger streamer, it was a somewhat regular request. People asking me to promote their GoFundMes. That's where I have to wait. I keep forgetting. Thank you, George, for the 200 stars. The star drop is for you. I don't know, but at this point, I would say I just direct you to Google or AI. They will have a lot more accurate information than me making any kind of guess. And at this point, I'm definitely pretty all set on talking about this. This is not, talking about like charity scams is kind of depressing, at least in my mind. Because it is that harsh reality that there are a large number of people that are very willing to take advantage of other people through like the worst kind of deception. It's kind of a tough pill to swallow. Okay, remember, Pat, wait. There we go, great. Oh no, bro! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was close. Mickey, at this point, I guess either I'm not communicating well, or maybe it's not coming across clearly. But at this point, Mickey, I'm all set with any more questions about what constitutes a GoFundMe scam, and I would direct you to Google or AI, and I think you'll get all the information you need. But I'm officially asking, as politely as I can, to stop asking me about it. And I really just want to get this clear at this point. So I kind of want to focus in. Two jumps away. But we're also right near the troll block. That ending is so tough. Wait. No! I can't move! There you go. And I appreciate it. I'm not trying to ignore you, Taylor, but I am trying to move on. I am trying to move on. And I do appreciate that there is chat delay at play as well. So I totally acknowledge that. But from where I'm sitting, it feels like I've now spent like 5 minutes asking politely for us to move on. So that's what can be frustrating on my end. It can feel like not being heard. Like trying to communicate clearly in a neutral way and have that still not be heard can feel extra frustrating, especially if it's continued. And I've come across quite a few people who kind of get a kick out of that whole dynamic. Everyone's favorite Pokemon? I've always gone with Dragonite. I was big into Pokemon Go for a while. And I really wanted a Dragonite. and I got one. I was visiting my friend at his condo. I was just chilling outside. No, I wasn't far enough left. Cubone, favorite Christmas movie? Does Die Hard count? I say yes. And yeah, It's a Wonderful Life is definitely my number one. But Jingle All the Way is possibly tied. I absolutely love Jingle All the Way. I love Sinbad. I love Arnold. Even got Anakin Skywalker. And you have... Who's the neighbor? Phil Hartman? Saturday Night Live guy. No. Turbo Man! Yeah, exactly. And Troy McClure, exactly, from Simpsons. Does Pokemon Go still exist? I believe it does. Love Turbo Man. That's definitely a must-watch every year for me. Oh, no! Oh. I did it wrong. Excuse me. I did get your Simpsons reference, Mickey. You may remember me from... No, you can't budge. You can't budge. You watch Harry Potter with your daughters during Christmas time. Yeah, that was wise of them to include that Christmas part into every one of them because it makes them all feel like a Christmas movie. No. Come on now. Come on now. Wow, that was so early in a good way. No, good. Good save. Now let's do something with it. Wait! No! I waited too long. What are you doing for Christmas? I don't know. Like on Christmas Day, I'll go to my aunt's house. My eyes are watering up here. I did it the old way. That's more like it. No! That was so good, too. Like the Chamber of Secrets. There you go. Come on. Come on now. I gotta blink exactly, Taylor. That's what does it. Is I'm like trying to give it maximum focus. But ironically, that can oftentimes hurt performance. Yeah, we got that down now at least. That's the way to do it right there. That was beautiful. Oh. Come on. What I really want to see is a series of like 3 out of 5 attempts making it to where I just made it. So that's 1. Let's see how long before we get back. Oh, see, those are the mistakes that get directly in the way. Oops. Of consistently making it back. It's kind of like I was talking about earlier in the stream, that one of my least favorite kinds of levels to grind out is a long speed run, like a 120-second speed run. Because you end up doing those first 30 seconds a billion times. And oftentimes there's no way to practice the later parts of the level without redoing the first parts over and over and over. There we go. Good! Yes! Oh my good gracious, people. And we avoided the troll block. Good gracious, Nurkte. That was a wild one. Whew, that was a wild one. Glad we got it done. Right under the 2-hour mark, 3 minutes to spare. Thank you for the GG's chat. Thanks for being here. Hope to catch up with you tomorrow sometime. Thank you so much to anyone who hit with any star shares, follows, likes, gifted subs, all the above. Thank you so much for your love and support. And if you are someone that struggles with depression or anxiety, you are not alone in that struggle, my friend. That's something I struggle with, and there are a lot of us struggling. So if you're one of them, make sure you got someone in your life you can talk to about it, a friend, family member, loved one, or therapist, and try to get some movement in your life. Take a walk outside. Find a way to move that you don't dread. It can make a big difference in your day, your physical health, and your mental health. So I encourage you with that. Hold on to hope, believe better days are coming, because you never know. Tomorrow could be the best day of your life, but you got to get there to find out. So hang in there. I'm rooting for you. If you're struggling right now, know that being in the struggle means you're still in the fight, and I'm proud of you for making it this far. Don't give up. I know life can get very overwhelming and hit you with some wild lefts and rights, ups and downs, twists and turns, traumas and tragedies, and have you feeling like, oh my gosh, everything's completely ruined. Nothing's ever going to be the same without this person, place, or thing in my life. What's the point when things are getting worse, not better? And it's a valid way to feel, but it's going to lead you to some wildly inaccurate conclusions. Because the truth is, there are some amazing things coming your way in your life. And one of the most burdensome, oppressive parts of feeling really depressed and anxious is feeling like that is not true, and that there is really nothing left for you, and that even if something great happened, it wouldn't make any difference because things are too far gone. That's a valid feeling, but an inaccurate conclusion. And an easy way to identify that, or an easier way to identify that, is to be able to first identify, hey, I'm really depressed right now. And if I'm really depressed, then I have to be willing to accept I can't trust my thoughts and conclusions. I am officially depressed. And that's a hard thing to be able to admit, but if you're willing to, you've just made the next step so much easier, versus it's like trying to battle somebody in the dark when you're not even recognizing that you're being influenced by that depression. So it sounds easy, and it can even look obvious from the outside, but from the inside it can be really tough. So if any of that resonates with you, know that I'm rooting for you big time. If you need a little family-friendly escape, I got you covered with thousands of hours of gaming content scattered across the internet. So make sure you're following Super Pat World, all one word, on every platform you can find me, and I hope to catch up with you tomorrow sometime. Until then, have an amazing rest of your night, and I'll hopefully catch up with you tomorrow.